Birds, Fossils and Feathers. Introduction. Most of the species of animals that have never lived on Earth suffer extinction. When the conditions of the environment change, such as when the climate cools or quantity of food decreases, a species may die out if it cannot adapt to the new conditions. Paleontologists have learned about a wide variety of such extinct organisms from fossils. Evidence of prehistoric life preserved in rock or other material. Some fossils are simple marks that an animal produced while moving, such as footprints or trails left on ground. Others are hollowed out impressions of an animal's entire body made in rock. Still others are preserved remains of an animal's body, such as bones or shells. Fossils show how new kinds of species developed over eons. For example, scientists have discovered fossils that lead them to believe that birds developed from reptiles more than 150 million years ago. Those reptiles may have been dinosaurs. Information from fossils. When the majority of animals die, the decomposition activities of bacteria and fungi causes their body to gradually break down and disappear. However, if conditions are suitable, a dead animal may transform into a fossil, leaving behind clues about its physical characteristics and how it lived. Typically, an animal that becomes immortalized as a fossil is buried in sediment, such as mud or sand, immediately after it dies. This is more likely to happen in or near rivers, the sea, or other bodies of water that carries minerals such as calcium, then soaks into microscopic spaces inside the bones of the body. As more and more of the bone tissue develops and decays away, increasing amounts of minerals take the place of the bone. In time, a rocky duplicate of animal's skeleton is left. When the body decays completely away, impressions of the animal's body form, showing such features as feathers or scales, and that then remains in hollow space where the animal's body was, surrounded by sediment. The bones and other characteristics of a fossil tell scientists what the animal looked like. These features also enable scientists to compare the animals with species living today. Similarities and differences between the features in the fossil and those of living organisms may reveal how the extinct creature behaved. For example, if the bones in the fossil are similar to bones in bird wings today, maybe the animal was capable of sustained flight. Such traits may also indicate that modern birds are related to this extinct animal. Paleontologists use different proctors to determine how old a fossil is. That is, to learn when the animal captured as a fossil lived. Because sediment accumulates year after year, fossils found in deeper sediment are older than fossils in sediment closer to Earth's surface. Scientists sustain their best estimates of a fossil's age by analyzing certain chemicals in the rock that contains the fossil. Prehistoric birds. Paleontologists have unearthed numerous fossils to extinct prehistoric birds. The earliest known bird fossils are of a primitive reptile-like bird called Archaeopteryx, which lived approximately 150 million years ago. These fossils offer compelling evidence that birds descended from reptiles. The fossils of an Archaeopteryx show that this crow-sized bird has some characteristics resembling birds and other resembling reptiles, like modern birds. Archaeopteryx has feathers, wings, and a wishbone, a forked bone in the upper chest. However, like a reptile, it has teeth and a long bony tail. It also has 3 fingers with claws on each wing. Archaeopteryx probably flew rather poorly. Scientists based that conclusion of the structure of the bone's sternum, breastbone, seen in fossils and sternum of Archaeopteryx, was flat. Modern birds have a sternum with a ponding part where robust muscles used in flight are attached. Without such a sternum, Archaeopteryx would have lacked powerful flight muscles. Paleontologists have discovered several fossils younger than those of Archaeopteryx that despite other birds, like fossils revealed how birds developed progressively modern traits over time. Hesperornis and Entheornis were 2 kinds of aquatic birds that lived approximately 90 million years ago. Fossils of Hesperornis show that this bird looked like a large loon. The bird with big webbed feet to assist in swimming. It also has a beak lined with tiny teeth to enable it to catch fish. However, Hesperornis has only rudimentary wing bones, so it cannot fly. Ichthyornis resembled a gull, which elongated pointed wings. It was probably an excellent flyer that dived into the sea to capture fish. Fossils prove that many of the main types of birds we know today had developed from about 35 million years ago. These include birds that bore resemblance to modern chickens, doves, ducks, parrots, penguins, owls, and songbirds. Birds from dinosaurs. Paleontologists theorize that fossils displaying birds like reptile-like characteristics are signs that birds developed from reptiles. Scientists have uncovered fossils of dinosaurs that posed feathers and other bird-like traits. These fossils prove evidence that dinosaurs were the reptiles from which birds developed. Fossils indicate that carnivorous dinosaurs called Coelurosaurs were like birds in many ways. Though scientists classify them as true dinosaurs, the fossils of the most bird-like members of the Coelurosaurs group are approximately 155 million to 135 million years old. They show that these animals were small for dinosaurs, most ranging in length to just 10 meters. They ran rapidly on 2 long, slender hind legs, which each have 4 clawed toes. These bones are hollow and laid white to symbolize eyes. Some even have feathers. All of these traits are similar to those of birds. Since fossils exhibit these attributes, it's logical to conclude the Colossaurus developed into birds. One of the Colossaurus that paleontologists understand best from fossils is Compsognathus, which is known from two well-preserved fossils about 145 million years old, which was discovered in Europe. Compsognathus was one of the smallest dinosaurs that had ever lived. Some of these creatures were only the size of a chicken. Compsognathus has a long, thin neck, and long hind legs. One on each of these is short front legs. It has only 2 claws, an unusual feature for a dinosaur. Like other Colossaurus, Compsognathus hunted by running after insects, lizards, and other diminutive animals and grabbing them with its razor-sharp claws and teeth. Scientists know that this dinosaur ate one of the fossils of Compsognathus, which includes the remains of its last meal in its stomach. The type of lizards seen in the stomach have entirely long legs, so this lizard must have been a fast runner. Those Compsognathus had to be quick to capture its prey. Conclusion: much has been learned about prehistoric animal life from fossils. Some of the most fascinating fossils ever uncovered prove that ages ago there were creatures that had some characteristics of birds and other characteristics of reptiles. Fossils of these organisms led scientists to theorize that birds developed from dinosaurs. Dinosaurs roamed the earth for more than 150 million years, but they were unable to adapt to their environmental conditions changed about 65 million years ago. According to scientists, Earth's climate may have changed dramatically around that time, perhaps as a result of a meteorite impact. Although dinosaurs did not survive this change, birds did. Today, there are more than 9,700 species of birds, thriving from the fragile Arctic and Antarctic of the tropics. Some scientists actually classify birds as living dinosaurs. So the next time you see a songbird singing at your window, might you really be watching and listening to a dinosaur?